Okay, welcome to SEGi Young Entrepreneurs Forum 2021. Okay, I'm very excited to be here, right? Okay, now we are going to something different. Okay, have you heard about AirAsia? Of course, everyone heard about that, right?
Okay. I hope so.
Okay, from the theme of now everyone can fly, then they transform to fresh from the farm. Okay, so we will meet an amazing person, Mr. Murain. Okay, so hi, Mr. Murain.
Hello, I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah, very clear. Okay, so Mr. Murain, could you please introduce yourself and share about AirAsia Farm, okay, to all the young audience.
But firstly, before that, I want to say, excellent job there, Jerry. I absolutely loved his energy and his presentation there. He said a couple of things in his slide. Like he said the next session is going to be with Tony. And he said that hopefully the next person can express themselves. A lot of pressure, Jerry. But I'll try to do my best. Before that, let me just share my screen, yeah? So I'm here going to talk about AirAsia Farm, right? So AirAsia Farm, so what are we? So this is actually a story about AirAsia, and it's just not just an airline, and it's a story about a couple of young people and see how they are going to change the farming market. So before that, let me just get started. So when you think AirAsia, what do y'all usually think? Can I see? Y'all usually think about our founders, right? Dato Dane there, and there's Tony.
Yeah,
of course.
Picture of Mr. Tony.
Yeah, everyone knows Tony, right? So one of the popular things that Tony used to say, that when he started, they actually started with just 2 planes. Now we've got about 240 over planes, but most of it is just in KLIA 2 now at the moment because we don't have, because of COVID situations, right? But the point is that when Tony started the airline business, we actually started with 2 planes and a belief that he wants to make everyone fly. So that's the popular quote that you hear everywhere. And then when you think of our flights, right, then you also probably think all the travel destinations that you can go. And then also, you also probably know about our cruise. It's a very proud thing of ours. It's because that year after year after year, they actually are an award-winning team. See, but did you know that AirAsia also has its digital ventures? So not only we've got our airline, we've also got our digital business as well. So what is this digital business consist of here? Let me just show you. So our airline digital business, right, it covers 3 areas. One is, have you all heard about AirAsia.com? Have you all used the AirAsia app?
Yeah.
Pernah kah saya?
Pernah.
Pernah. Then how about the rest? Oh, food delivery there. Part of it, yes. Yes, to book tickets. Oh, I think I should just let the crowd talk about AirAsia. Most of them are already familiar with our products. So AirAsia, of course, the AirAsia.com is our first main product by most of the users. And then we've got our BigPay product. BigPay is our fintech thing, which is where you can, it's like a digital wallet where it's tied to your credit card and you can track your payments. And then we've also got our Teleport. So Teleport is actually a combination of our cargo business and also our land business around logistics area there. But do you guys also know that we also got our e-commerce marketplaces, right? Have you all heard about AirAsia Fresh? Have you all used it?
This is my first time to know about AirAsia Farm actually.
I see. So actually, AirAsia Fresh is our e-commerce website where we actually sell all our fresh produce, fresh and dry items. You can get it. So any users, right, today can go on to airasia.com/fresh and see of things to buy. Yeah, grocery items. Yeah. All right, some of them just about. And then have you all heard about AirAsia Food? Yes, the burgers. And how about AirAsia Farm? Have you all heard AirAsia Farm?
Okay, how about the audience? Have you heard about AirAsia Farm?
SEGi, I like. They've heard about our mangoes.
Yeah, it's very famous.
Oh, some of it first time. Oh, okay. So here am I, right, to tell you a story about AirAsia Farm, right? So essentially AirAsia Farm, right? So what are we? So the idea actually, the way AirAsia Farm was birthed, right? We actually were conceived during 2020 and it was during the COVID area. So what happened is our core main team, right, used to be a part of the AirAsia in-flight duty-free team. So kan Sahi, during COVID, right?
Yeah.
There's no international flights, right?
Yeah.
So because there's no international flights, we can't sell duty-free items already. So what we did then, then we had to then think of, we've got a team of people then that said, hey, what can we use our skills to do what? So that's when we realized, like, actually, it was actually my boss. What she did is, AirAsia has got all their hotels, their restaurants, and all their colleges and all.
All affected by pandemic, right?
Yes, and also all of them actually buy food and all of them use food.
Yeah.
So what we thought was a good idea was, why don't we collate all of these orders and let a single company go and get them for the team? So, and then like AirAsia, right? It's always like buy in big volume and then to bring the cost down. So we thought, oh, let's do that. And also along with that, right? You said during the first COVID, right? We realized that, all the farmers were getting affected because complete lockdown, kan?
Yes.
And then when there was a lockdown, so all the supply chain got disrupted. So when the supply chain got disrupted, you always hear stories about, in Cameron Highlands, where the vegetables couldn't come to KL.
Yeah.
And then they were just rotting in Cameron Highlands. So, and then the farmers who had to bear the losses, right?
Yeah.
So you hear a lot of these stories, and that's where we thought, hey, there's a synergy here. How can we solve this one problem there to improve the supply chain and help the farmers out there? So actually a lot of our credit has to go to my boss, is Lalita. She's probably there somewhere here listening to this, right? So what she did is that she actually collaborated with MAFI. MAFI is the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Industries of Malaysia, right? She's got a very good relationship with them. So that's when she realized that, hey, how can we do this together? And the idea was to see how can we use a e-commerce business, right? That is what our previous strength was. Remember, we used to do duty-free? In-flight duty-free, right? And then because the team is on it, how can we use an e-commerce platform to solve this problem? And then AirAsia is like a very popular brand, right? So we can use our network, our marketing and all that to bring awareness towards the subject. So that's when from scratch, right? We kind of...
Ideas.
Yeah, right, from scratch, right? We kind of launched ourselves within 2 months. Oh. It's actually within 2 months, within a short period, we launched it. So what was the idea? Let's see. So the idea is actually to use an e-commerce platform to connect farmers directly to businesses. So it's such a simple idea, right? And then so what we thought, okay, so what do we do then with this simple idea? So how do we actually solve this problem, right? This is the website, of course. So this is our e-commerce website where you can actually come on board and look at the thing. And then that's why you say, you remember you talk about mangoes? So I just put a screenshot of a mangoes there to show. Yeah. So today you can actually buy Harum Manis mangoes on our website as well. And even that, there's a story behind the Harum Manis. So what do we do? This is what I wanted to speak about. Like, what do we do? So essentially, whenever in our website, right, when a customer comes on board and they make an order, right, our internal database get triggered. So usually when you want to make an order, what you will ask for, let's say, I would like to have 450 kilos of timun, of cucumber, right? And then what they will do is they will ask like, hey, when can I have it? Most of our orders happens between 24 to 48 hours, So within that short time I spend, the most of our orders, but between that short time I spend, right, we have to match the produce, what is the buyer looking for, what produce they're looking for. And it can vary, one day can be cucumber, another day can be ikan bilis, the third day can be capsicum and all that. This every day can be some random things, right? So, and then what we do is that we say we have to then match it. Based on that, we'll match it to what is the customer's requirement. So we've got this database of all these 1,000+ farmers, seafood providers and all, and then to see that what is the most suitable product. And how do we manage this? So essentially what we do is we try to bring best value to both the farmers and the businesses as well. And we realize the biggest cost always in between is always the logistics. So the logistic cost. So what we tend to do is, because we got a big database of network of farmers, right? We tend to match something very close to where the buyer is. So meaning we reduce the journey between the farmer and the buyer themselves. And that is and that's only done is because we've got this powerful database of all these farmers there with us. And so what happened is, so that's when once an order is made and we match a produce, right? And then we say, how do we solve this then? How do we then bring these 450 kilos of cucumber, example, right, from the farm to the buyer? And sometimes when you contact the farm, right, you realize that one of the farm only have 150 kilos. So it's not only from one farm, So then you have to contact a few farms, and because sometimes these orders goes really big, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to go to a few farms, collect the orders, and then send to a customer. And then these are some of the things that on a day-to-day is our happenings.
Big job, right?
Yeah.
That's totally different before.
It's totally different. And then, but of course, here what we do is we always depend on our logistic network as well, which is a combination of our own team and also teleport. Remember I mentioned teleport because AirAsia got their own logistic network. Yep. So there you go. So there are all good examples, right, of what our AirAsia farm is all about. So whenever an order is made, right, so we tend to go to the farm itself. We look at the produce. We will QC the produce and all to see whether it meets the standards or not. And then we'll eventually load it to the truck and then hopefully send it directly to the customer. But sometimes you can see some of the images, right? Here it goes through Wisma Tune actually. Wisma Tune is used to be our office, our digital office. So we are in the midst of working on our warehouse and our storage facilities. But because that's like a few months down the road, we just want to wait and do nothing. So what we do is we just we adapted. So even our nicely looking lobby over there just turns into a temporary storage house.
It means you utilize.
Yeah, we utilize all that, everything we can.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, but of course, another key part about this what we do is each of the produce, right? We realize that we are always learning about new vegetables because the orders are always new, right? And then, for example, here we got like one capsicum and all that. So it's like, what is that about? Why is it good? So we have to know why is it fresh? How long is the shelf life?
Like
how long we transport it?
Cabbage. You learn all this.
Every day is like a learning journey, and Google is like our friend. And
yeah.
Because none of this, like I said, before this, right? We are from the duty-free business.
Yes.
That was a different set of product. But now we've transitioned to another set of products.
Yes.
And then every day you're learning about vegetables and all that, right? And the best part, right? Some fun facts here. Both my boss and myself are not fans of vegetables at all.
People don't like vegetables.
Yeah, we don't all. But the irony is we are all in the business of vegetables now.
Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead. Continue.
Right.
Yeah. So here, can you see on the left, right? It's actually our lobby. And there on the left, you can see lots of eggs over there. So what happened is, I think this time, we had about 1,000 trays of orders of eggs. And egg is something we're very proud of. It's because it became one of our hero products at the start. So when we first got started, right, we didn't know much about this agriculture business and the farm business. So we launched, yes, but then we were learning on a day-to-day basis how to connect to buyers, what are the qualities that the buyers looking for, how to talk to the farmers, what are the qualities the farmers are looking for, and what's the price, negotiating the price. And the best part about this, every day, the price can fluctuate. And then we got to depend on, I think, the harga borong from harga, I believe, to on a day-to-day, because the price fluctuates, right? And setiap kali ada COVID announcement, something will change.
Yes, means the price every day is changed also.
Every day the price is changing. Every week the price is changing.
So all the product from local, right?
This one's yes, all from local.
Very good.
Yeah, this one's yes. So then you can see there, right? Here we've actually changed our lobby here, converted our lobby to be a temporary storage facility there. You see, you got like nice marble flooring and all that all. So it looks like a very pretty storage, but it just was something temporarily because we had an order. We had to move a couple of tons of orders in a short span of time, and then we had to make it happen. So that's where we will call the building management, say, can we use the building facilities and see the kind of things we have to do, and then we ensure that they are okay for temporary to use their facility, and then load, unload the things, ensure we don't break anything. But what I also want to share, right? Remember I was telling about how we were out there to help the farmers and all, right? I give you a good example. Can you see the pictures there about the coconuts there?
Not yet.
The coconuts at the bottom?
No, it's on the page of our story.
Can you see coconuts? Coconut.
Oh, yeah.
I see everyone else can see coconuts. Thank you. So let me tell you the story about the coconuts. So what are coconuts? During Thaipusam, right? I think there was an incident where, there's no precision and you cannot break the coconuts, right? So there were lots of people were stuck with thousands and thousands of coconuts. So what happens, what we do is we have to clear these coconuts then. So what we did is we found a supplier who wanted help. We actually bought most of it, and then we went to all our network of pasar rayas and all that, and then helped to clear all these coconuts and all. So these are times, right, that it happens from time to time, like where we try to find solutions to already existing problem out there, and these are real-time problems, that happens on a day-to-day basis. So even
during celebration, Hari Raya, Pavali, a lot of people want to use coconut, santan.
Yeah. So there, and then you see the photos on the right, it's actually our road trip. So what can I say that what we do, right? So when we first started, there wasn't big orders. So we tend to do like small orders and all with small restaurants and all. So this was one of an example of one big order we got. I think it was about 7 ton. So when you thought you got 7 ton, oh wow, we have to QC 7 ton worth of products, and which is a combination of onions, potatoes, ginger, and all. So this is where we actually get to the ground, ensure we QC each bag one and all that, because this was our first customer. So because this was our first customer, right, we wanted to ensure everything was good.
Yeah.
And then because we always thought, right, when you have the first experience and it's a good experience along the way, then you always encourage repeat purchases and all. So that's for us, the QC part is absolutely crucial for us. And then, so I thought, okay, let's do, I'll go the extra mile. So I think these products were supposed to be moved from Seremban to Sungai Siput, somewhere in the northern regions. So I thought, okay, we QC the product, and I thought I'll follow the truck as well. But my dedication to follow the truck only lasted about 10 minutes. After that, talara that's like, okay, I believe that the truck will make it to the right destination. And I just sped off already. But what I was trying to say is that, right, this is what we do, if you already in the agriculture world, right, and you have to know all these key facets of the business, meaning your produce is your product. So it's very important to ensure that whatever products that we give to our customers is in a good quality.
Yeah.
So that's one. And second thing is that whenever you're doing things for the first time and all, and if this is very passionate to you, make sure you are there on the ground doing the work as well.
Yeah, the excitement, right?
Yeah, and the excitement and all that, right? And like AirAsia, right? We may have a team that was able to do this, right? But everyone should get on the ground, learn about things, because that's when you will learn from the farmers. Why is the produce good? What are they telling about this? How to take care of the produce and all. And these are all knowledge. Every day is something that you learn, because every day is like a learning journey for us. That was some of our road trip experiences. See, so now you thought, right, an airline business, right? See, you look at us, what are we doing? Completely from the air, always flying in the air. Now we're completely on the ground with the farm.
I'm very excited. It's like a first baby, right? You take very well.
Yeah. And then, so some of the other examples I see, during Chinese New Year, right? We decided that we got a customer who wanted to, a corporate customer who actually wanted to give all their staff oranges. And this order was confirmed, I think, at 5 o'clock one evening. And so what we did is 5 o'clock one evening, some of us actually went and did these oranges. So we said, oh, where can we find oranges now? Now we can go to the farm. But we wanted to serve the business, right? So we thought, okay, what we'll do is we went to all these big wholesale shops. So we went to either NSK or all that. So a few of them went to buy. So we went to all 3 different shops. And because this was a very big order, right? Each wholesaler didn't have enough quantity.
Oh.
So what we had to do is we had to go to a few different places, take photos and all, ensure they're like about the same product. And then to see that how we combine all of them, transported this, I think we bought all of this. We got the order at 5 o'clock. And then between 6 o'clock to about 7, 8 o'clock, we were at different wholesalers, different shops trying to find which is the best value. And then I think before 10 o'clock, I think we bought all these things, loaded all into our own cars.
You borong semua lah.
Borong lah, kita beli je semua. And then we loaded into our own cars. Because it was such a late thing, we loaded all into our own cars and our own trucks and all. And then got it all to our office. We repacked it. And then the next day, we actually delivered to the customer by 12 o'clock already.
Great job.
A great job, but it was a big ouch. We kind of didn't sleep much for the night. And then my boss curi dia punya husband sekali datang. Curi dia punya kereta. And the husband tu datang tolong sekali.
Because of the orange.
Yeah, and so the good part about this is that, right, you see a team, a combination of many people, right, just coming together to always solve this kind of situations. Well, and what we did was, I think we had to deliver to about 107 customers. So 50% we actually did it ourselves. We actually did the delivery ourselves as well. And then the 50% of it, I think we worked with Teleport to ensure that Teleport did our delivery for us. So we actually sourced it, packed it, ensure it's got all these nice writings and all that, and even delivery within, like, I say, within 24 hours. So that's some of the stories that we do. And also here, can you see the photos of our eggs, right?
Yeah,
so,
egg.
So eggs is actually, like I said, right, it was one of our...
Handle.
And it's difficult to handle.
Yes.
Right? Every day we handle such a precious cargo here, which is very vulnerable. But see, this goes about our team, right? Now we are super familiar with the eggs already. Now we are super familiar. We bring it everywhere we go. So here, right, actually, this photo here is actually a picture of the lobby in AirAsia, the AirAsia Red Queue. So AirAsia Red Queue is our office, is next to KLIA 2. So what we did is, for Raya, we wanted to have a bazaar in AirAsia Red Queue. So what we did is, we brought eggs over there, we brought all the farm items and all that, and make it like a bazaar for our staffs in AirAsia Red Queue. So these are the things that you see every day, right? Our narratives become so diversified. So every day we are making new things, but you see, we tend to do seems like really cool things. And then I say on the picture on the right, it was actually a very recent photo. It was only yesterday that our team was part of a charity drive. So where they were going to different places to give fresh produce to all the people who need it. So it's a combination of corporate, CSR, and then helping farmers and working with the government body.
Yeah. And make sure all the product is very good condition.
Yeah, good condition. Yeah, we tend to succeed most of the time. Like 95%, 98% we tend to succeed. But fresh produce, right? Surely mesti ada rosaknya.
Yes, of course.
But that's when how we learn about it. We learn about that. We learn how to manage customer experience. So it's part of our journey.
Michelle said salute.
Yeah. Thank you. So then remember I talked about part of CSR, right? And then it's talk about, helping farmers, help communities. So remember how I mentioned about we wanting to help farmers out there? So this is where it's such a simple idea, where we buy the produce from the farmers, where we can give better value for the farmers. And then we take these items and then we part of our charity drive there. We actually hand out to all these teams. So, and you see these pictures here, right? These are pictures all from Sabah. And they are not nearby locations. They are from Pulau Bangi, which is Ranau. They are like 200 kilometers away from KK. They are all in remote islands.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They are all actually on remote islands, and the team actually mobilized a set of team to ensure that we are able to bring all this produce to the ones who in need. So we actually either load it by vehicles, trucks, you see some here, boats as well. So you see, it's always a combination of teams coming together to make things happen.
Means you collaborate with farmers
yes.
to do the CSR.
Yes, so what we do is whenever we've got a CSR project, right, when this kind of good objectives, this was, I think, during last year, during COVID, right, a lot of Sabahans were stranded and they didn't have enough supply. So what we did, we sourced all this produce from the Sabahans farmers. So when we sourced all the produce, and then we used our logistic network to ensure that we're able to provide this produce to all the ones in the remote areas. And these photos, I think this was last year again, I think we helped about 721 families.
During pandemic, right?
During pandemic, yeah, last year. Yes, Tasha, from flying high, Asia went underground on the boat, but always on the farm, but always with the people there. So there you go. So now let me just show you guys, how do we do this? Let me tell you. Oh yeah, let me show you guys my shirt representing. Can you guys see this?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so let me just show you guys some use cases, right? Like, so how do we do all of this from time to time? From you think corporate companies, you think airlines, right? We're always like in meeting rooms and all, we're looking at slides and all. So, but actually we are actually like a very small, like a startup-like environment, We take the learnings from corporate learnings and see how we can mobilize this really quickly to ensure that we provide solutions within a very short span of time. So that's what you do. So you see a lot of, so let me show you some of the things, right? Some of our big things that we've done, yeah? Can you see this? So this is one of our examples. So we thought, hey, one of the things is we wanted to export ikan bilis and udang kering. So you thought, okay, I'm from Sabah, right? How do we bring all these products from Sabah to Semenanjung? And then how do we market this in Semenanjung itself? So the idea for Sabah was always to export all their products out of the country. Yeah. But because of COVID, right, access to international markets are always quite limited. So we thought, okay, because we are also learning, we thought we get started by bringing all this produce from Sabah to Semenanjung there. And this was the objective here. The idea is just this: combination of teams where, like here is AirAsia Fresh. AirAsia Fresh is of course our online platform where we will reach out to our customers and we'll sell products. Teleport will do our logistics, and AirAsia Farm will source this produce and ensure the supply chain is sorted. So see how we got it, right? Can you see this? So this is actually an example of an original presentation slide. It's just that where we thought, okay, what is this product we want to do? How we are going to sort the logistics, and who are these market and who these markets are, right? And we actually first landed on ikan bilis and udang kering. Can you guess why or not? Why we decided to do this first?
Not sure. Why?
Because ikan bilis, udang kering and all, they got longer shelf life.
Oh, okay.
So because we just got started, right? We didn't know how well we were going to do. So we thought we choose the right products. Yes, another one is easier to be stored as well. Pandai. Because it's mahal. Tak ada lah. Tak mahal sangat. So then can keep longer, correct? Yes. So we wanted to store this. So when we thought, okay, we're going to get started, but we didn't know how well it's going to do. So what we decided, we needed a product that can ensure that we can keep it for some time as we start learning and start marketing as well. So then when we did it is, we thought, okay, that is our product. So then how are we going to bring these products from Sabah to Kuala Lumpur? And these are products are brought from Tawau. All this, our ikan bilis and udang kering are actually sourced from Tawau today. So then we had to then realize that, hey, we got to pick up the product in Tawau, get it to the Tawau airport, clear customs cargo, fly to Kuala Lumpur, pick it up from KLIA 2 and send it to our warehouse here before we can eventually send to our buyers or do anything with the product, right? So all of these logistics things, we had to sort it out. Okay. All right. And our markets, we decided, hey, how we are going to market this product. So like I said, that we've got a team of wholesalers and pasarayas and all. We're going to market it via them. We will expand to northern and southern regions. And then we'll try to sell the products online via AirAsiaFresh.com. So essentially, this was just the idea. This is from the idea. Let's see, right? How did we just translate this, yeah? So there you go. Can you see from idea there, we eventually executed it. So what happened was we got our team actually sourced this product from Tawau. So she used to tell, her name was Jenny. So Jenny used to tell that Encik Jamal can provide us these products. So we always attended, okay, these are the ones who the farmer we're going to buy from. His name is Encik Jamal. And Encik Jamal can give us this ikan bilis, the udang kering at this price. So what we have to do is after this price, then to say whether the price is cost effective or not. And then we had to work around the pricing for the product. And then what we do, our team actually went to the farmer's place to QC the product. So they had to take photos, pictures, and all that to see that we have to take the products, whether the products are good quality products or not. Yeah. So, and I always thought, whenever we used to speak to my team, I always referred to this person as Encik Jamal. Hey, Encik Jamal, and all that all. And all of this, most of the communications was done via WhatsApp and all. We've actually never met each other. So after then at one time, right, when I actually went to Tawau, I imagined Encik Jamal to be this 50-year-old man that has always been doing ikan bilis and udang kering and all. But much to my surprise, right, can you see the young man there on the top end on the left with the mask open? Yeah. That is actually Encik Jamal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so much to my surprise, that was Encik Jamal when I met him. And he was in his 30s.
Yeah.
So anybody, and when we actually met Encik Jamal, right? I like to share a story of him. You know, he's got a very good story. When he first started in the ikan bilis business, right? And it's in Tawau. I think he started off like out of school. So he used to work for someone, and he used to go to shop after shop trying to sell 1 kilogram of ikan bilis to a customer. But you know, kan in Tawau, all is dried seafood is very, everyone's got it.
Yes.
Right? For you to penetrate is quite hard. And honestly, he has to go to shop after shop after shop. So
Yes.
what he did was, but like what they say, like, you know, a lot of hard work and not being persistent, right? So he used to go shop after shop and shop. And when the first customer bought 10 kilo, he didn't believe.
Oh.
He said he didn't believe, like, are you sure you need to buy 10 kilo? Because for him, he was always at 1 kilo and the challenge that he faced, right? And his first breakthrough was that I got to sell my 10 kilo. And then I was like, oh, really? And then he was telling me the story that he's like continuously had to ask the customer, are you sure? Did I hear this right? Like, are you sure? And it's like 10 kilo. So I said, yeah, that was his first breakthrough, right? But many years later, he eventually stepped out and did the business on his own. Now he owns 3 different chillers in different parts of the Sabah. He goes, buys from the farms. He's got markets in Sarawak, in Semenanjung and all. And this is a boy who started off from school selling 1 kilogram of ikan bilis, shop after shop. And with a surprise when he got 10 kilo of order. Right? So, but what Jerry said earlier, right? They got started sometime. Like him too, he got started. So wait, everyone, panelists, did you all like Jamal's story or not?
Yes.
True story there.
Sorry. Actually, Encik Jamal is very young.
Yeah, he's very super young there. And I'm like, wow, Encik Jamal. So, and then you see some of the photos here, it's like photos of the ikan bilis and all that we take, right? And you know, like part of this, right, to execute this, right, is always we have to pay attention to the product. The way I see it is like your product is the one that we're going to sell, right? So you've got to be a master in your product. So you're going to learn about your products. And like now I know there's ikan bilis kope, there's ikan bilis sedang, there's ikan bilis mata biru A, ada mata biru triple A, ada ikan bilis bulat, ada ikan bilis kuna. Ikan bilis kuna, and all of them come in different lengths. Got 2 cm, 2 to 3 cm. Semua kena tahu, semua kena tahu. So, but the thing about this is while we learn about all of this ikan bilis, yeah, yes, Jerry, yes, ikan bilis KOL. So while we learn about all this ikan bilis and all that, right, it's also very important for us to communicate all of this information to the sales team or the purchaser themselves, right? Because while you may be passionate about your products and you may know your products, it's very important to communicate all this information to your customers who are actually going to buy or use your products. So when you first started, right, can you see that I just somehow copy and WhatsApp and all that all? We tried many ways of getting photos from Tawau, getting pictures, getting as much as information. How long can the ikan bilis be kept? Whether they have to be kept in a storage cold environment or not. So all of these things that we have to learn. Oh yes, Tasha. Nice. So that is how we kind of from started, let's say, how we started and how we executed this, right? So here you go again. So like I said, right, how we got started, right? When we first started, we actually exported only 120 kilos from Tawau. So, and then you can see here the photos, how the products arrived, all nicely packaged and all that with our cargo. And what we did this in the photo here, we unpacked all of these products. So we actually brought in ikan bilis mata biru triple A. We brought in ikan bilis kope. We brought in udang kering, you know. And then we brought the cheap one was the ikan bilis bulat. So guys, when you all think, what do you think is good, will be a good popular product? What do you think would have sold well between all of these things? Whether it was ikan bilis kope, ikan bilis mata biru triple A, udang kering. What do you think, Sai, did very well?
I'm not sure, but
Aileen is there. Ikan bilis kope. Oh, mata biru.
Yeah.
Oh, banyak kan ada kope.
Kope very easy.
Yes, actually, you're right. One of our best selling is actually ikan bilis kope. It is because it is very easy. From a customer's point, right, perspective, right? They want to buy it, they just don't want to clean it and all that. And then nowadays we realize there's got a lot of modern day buyers and modern day people who cook. You know, all these young workers and all, they just want to buy these products very easy to cook. They don't want to spend a lot of time cleaning and all that. So these are the customers that we got at. And then udang kering too. Yes. Hey, DV, you got inside information, okay? So DV, can you see there, DV there? DV is actually the boy there on the photo there, taking the photo. So DV is actually our head of marketing there. He's the one responsible to ensure that all our photos all look very beautiful, all our products look cool. He then organizes the photo shoot. Like I said, right? One of our key things is our products. So we brought all these products now. Now you have to communicate to the market. Hey, would you be interested to buy all of these produce? So that's where DV and his team will take photo shoot of the videos. They will do TikTok videos. They'll post it all on their Instagram, Facebook, and all to raise awareness towards these new things that we're doing there. Yeah, easy to cook is yeah. So that's DV there and there. And then these were all done, yeah. As soon as the product landed in Kuala Lumpur, I think we completed unpacking, taking photos, and loading on our AirAsia platforms, yeah. I think within 48 hours. So actually now if you go to on airasia.com/fresh, right, you can actually see Sabah products available for sale already. So, but what we did is when we bring the Sabah products to Semenanjung, right, it's just not about I'm bringing a product and that's it, you'll sell on its own. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to brand the products themselves. So can you see here the logo there flown from Sabah? You can see the fisherman there and the airline there, the plane there.
Yes.
So these are on all our Sabah products. You can actually see this logo there embedded in all our visuals one. And these are like the little cool ideas and concepts we do to see that, hey, we are actually utilizing our planes, talking to the farmers to bring you products that's actually fresh from the farm. And then it's actually directly able for you to be able to purchase and consume. So these are the kind of cool things that we're trying to do. So this is our udang kering and ikan bilis, yeah? And then what we did is, you see here the name, a lot of names about our farm, right? So you may be wondering why our farm. So because why our farm is that, hey, before we were AirAsia Farm, we started off calling our company, our brand was Our Farm. So only this year we rebranded ourselves to AirAsia Farm. And I'll tell you how we rebranded ourselves to AirAsia Farm as well in the next story, yeah?
Okay.
So what I see is that, you know, with our ikan bilis and udang kering and all that, right? So we had to start marketing these products here. So what we do is we utilized all our digital assets. So you see here some of the visuals from our Instagram and things. And see, like when we bring in udang kering, right? We have to tell the customers what is about the product. It's good, whether it's low in salt, whether it's clean, how can you eat it? All this information we try to provide our customers. And also sometimes you can see, you know, thanks to DV and his team, you can see we've got all these cool images with Tony and the farmer and all that all. So what we tend to do is we tend to have a good product, utilize creativity to ensure that we're able to reach our audience. And so this essentially were our ikan bilis and udang kering story. So I'm going to say, how do you think we did? You think we did well or not?
Yes, of course.
What does the team, team thinks? Do you think we did well with our udang kering ikan bilis? Did we?
I think after this, it will be sold out.
I hope so. I hope so. But you all think we did well?
Yes.
What does everyone think?
Awesome.
Well, like, so actually in terms of results, like, let me tell you, remember earlier we showed you we had this objective of bringing the products to Sabah and sell it. So this was the outcome, yeah? So the outcome is actually within 2 months, we actually sold over 2 tons of ikan bilis and udang kering. And remember how I told about Encik Jamal, right? Who at one time started selling 1 kilo, and he was happy with 10 kilo when we sold. And here we, without much learning about much back years of experience, right? All we had an idea, a concept, and the will and determination to make it happen. So that's what eventually translated to this. So, but what was very important is there was even within the AirAsia team as well, there was a lot of collaboration. There's collaboration within the digital team, AirAsia Fresh, and the platforms, with us sourcing the products and all, and then we teleport. And that, so there's a lot of collaboration here happening between the teams and outcome. So this was the next use case, right? Let's say Project Harum Manis. So let me just tell you a story. Yeah. So what happened was, I think somewhere around, I believe at the end of February or March, like I said, my boss, right, Lalita, she's got very, very good relationship with the government body, MAFI, right? So we were actually invited to Perlis to attend like a seminar or a two-way communication between MAFI, the Jabatan Pertanian, Pharma is the marketing agency for all this government marketing agency for all this fresh produce, to go and attend. So what we realized when the government team was presenting, right, we heard a lot of this feedback about what happened in 2020 with COVID. So what happened was, harum manis is actually a very seasonal product. It's actually a very seasonal product. It only happens between end of April, I believe, starts to end of June. That's a short time span he has. It's a very once a year seasonal product, right? So last year during COVID, because all the supply chain got disrupted, right? Most of these harum manis mangoes from Perlis, they were sent to either Kuala Lumpur, anywhere, just got stuck in all these distribution centers. So all just many boxes and boxes of harum manis, right, just didn't go to the customers. They were just all just stuck in the distribution centers because whether it's Post Laju, City Link or what, right, because of the restriction, they couldn't move the products. So all these tons and tons of harum manis, right, were actually spoiled. So and then who had to bear these losses again? It was the farmers. So then what happened was the farmers then during this session with the government started venting all their frustration about what happened in 2020. And they said that, hey, we need help. We cannot ensure all of these things happen again because the farmers were there that lost. So, and yeah, when we listened to this, and then we had one of the farmers say that, hey, how can the government help not to market the products in Semenanjung, because that they can do as well. Say, how can you bring this to international markets? And how can you export these markets to Sabah or Sarawak and all that? How can you do this? And then that's where we were sitting. And then we realized, hey, this could be an opportunity for us to actually collaborate with the government agency to make this happen. So how can AirAsia Farm get involved with this harum manis to ensure that we're able to market this in Semenanjung and in Sabah as well? So that is the idea. Again, it came out from a use case. It was a real-time problem when we were there, hearing the voices of the farmers there themselves. So the idea was, of course, to use AirAsia's ecosystem, covering the e-commerce, logistics, and of course, our marketing capabilities. AirAsia, the branding and all that, right? It's got a very strong marketing capabilities. So how can we leverage all these strengths and different team to ensure that we can sell harum manis in Semenanjung? So that's where you got started here. And there you go. So this is the product. So how many of you have heard about harum manis?
Of course, we have heard about that.
You've heard? Have you tried it? Have you tried it this season?
Not yet, because the price.
Memang kan the price, right? Yeah. So the price is slightly on the high side, and it's like a premium fruit there.
Yeah.
Hey, but you should try.
Okay, I will try.
Okay, no problem. So you should. Oh yeah, harum and manis. Yeah. So the story. Let me just give you some story about harum manis. Yeah. So harum manis is actually a very popular seasonal fruit in Perlis. It's actually very popular in Semenanjung, but in Sabah and all, there's not many people who've heard about it for two reasons. One is it's pricey, and second, it's got a short season. So a lot of people in Sabah have not heard about it, but in Semenanjung adalah banyak orang tahu. But what about this harum manis is that it's got a few good qualities. When it's ripening, right, when it's ripe, right, the top of the fruit tends to smell really good. So when you smell the top of it, it's got a very good harum smell one. So and right, when I first got started in this, right, to this, I wasn't convinced that the harum manis is going to have a good smell, because they kata ada harum, ada manis and all, but I've not experienced it myself. So every time we bring in samples and all that, we try to keep it in a box and all to say that, hey, when he's ripe, like smell, I want to experience the smell. So I think about a week, not a week, I think about 3 or 4 days after we brought in some samples from Sabah, sorry, not from Sabah, from Perlis, we actually left it in the car. So it was in the booth. And then the booth actually helped the ripening process a bit, because it needs to be in an enclosed environment and all to help it ripe. So when it ripes, right, my entire car memang smell lah harum tu. The smell is there. The entire car smells good for a few days. Oh, nice. Siti Rashada. Siti Rashada, are you from Perlis?
Only in Perlis.
So a lot. Okay, the reason why they say it's a lot of Perlis is that because the land there is more suitable and the climate is more suitable for the fruit. They've tried these fruits in or planting this in other regions, but it wasn't effective to do it in a large scale. Couple of things is, one is they needed a very hot weather. So what happens is harum manis usually becomes is available between end of April to June, end of June, is because between December and March in Perlis is like the hot season. So when it's really, really hot, the fruit tends to grow well, and they need the hot season for the fruit to ripe and to grow big. But unfortunately now kan in Perlis, every day there's sekarang hujan.
Oh yeah.
So this season is actually every day in Perlis it's been raining, man. Canary, where's your hometown? Is it harum manis?
Canary?
Oh, Perak. Nice. Okay, so this is the idea, right? We decided to say, let's do this. How do we bring harum manis to Sabah now? We wanted to solve this thing. It again started with an idea there, with a simple idea of how do we do this. So we actually kind of sketched it on a paper. Can you see this there? We have to, from Perlis, source the product, bring it down to Kuala Lumpur, ensure it's all packed and nicely packed, ensure there's enough packaging, send it over to Sabah and available for customers in Sabah to do it. And for us to make this happen, right, we needed to have the import permit. We didn't have, we needed to do the FITO certificate. FITO is essentially whenever you export products out, the local government, the Jabatan Pertanian will have rules. What are the kind of fruits that you can bring in, which is safe for the local state? So we had to do all this FITO testing of the fruits. We had to ensure the products are all nicely packaged. And this is mangoes, yeah? We had to bring it from Perlis to Sabah. We had to sort the land logistics, air logistics. And because again, we are AirAsia, we wanted to have a media event and all. So we decided, hey, before we do this, why not we have a flag off event in KLIA too, where we'll get our bosses, Tony, Dato Dane, and work with our minister, because we were founded during the time of a crisis with the Mafi. So we thought, let's collaborate with them again, with Mafi, and say, how can we solving another problem here? And then we have to do a flag off event. And then we decided, okay, let's do an event. So what we needed to do is on the, I believe it's like around 27th of April, we needed to, or 27th of April, we needed all our boxes. You know, AirAsia comes with the boxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That boxes there, we needed to take the boxes. You know, the AirAsia boxes, let me show you. I've got a box here. Can you see this box, AirAsia box? So all our harum manis actually comes in the box, in this AirAsia box.
Nice.
It's actually all the mangoes are in there. Let me show you. Can you see? Let me take a few mangoes out for you. See, I've actually got mangoes with me all the time. It's our product. It's next to me. My mangoes are always with us. So here I got one good. So betul, pandai. Yes. I found. So what we had to do is we wanted to send these mangoes to Sabah. We wanted to market this really big. And then we decided that, hey, we may need to get our Tony and the minister, YB, YB Candy involved as well. Can you see all the sketches here with the plane and all that?
Yeah, we can.
So the plane, that idea was to ensure that how can we bring the ministers and all to the plane, to the ground there, have a photo session, and then have a press conference. So these were all sketched and planned, and we had, from planning to execution, right? We had about 2 weeks to make this happen. And we did this on the 30th April. 30th April, and the reason why it was 30th April we wanted to do this, is because it was Tony's birthday.
Oh, okay.
So 30th April, we thought, oh, let's do, it's Tony's birthday, let's do something special for Tony, right? But literally, 29th April pula, it was a public holiday. And then 1st May pula, public holiday.
Yeah.
And then we had to bring all this, so we increased the challenges on our hand, Our challenge level just kept increasing. And then on top of that, for us to go to the tarmac, right, we only had a short time span. So we can only be on the tarmac for about 40 minutes. So we had to ensure all the VIPs got all their security passes, because you can't just go and you have to go and the airport, the MAHB, the airport team have to ensure you all get your security tags, all that sorted, and be able to do this. Sorry, am I like late for time? Is it? Am I continuously going on and on? How long do I have?
We have 34 minutes more before Q&A.
Oh, I see. I see. I can go on, continue talking, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Listening.
Okay. So we had a short span of time, I think about 40 minutes there. to ensure that this happens. And the thing about these VIPs and all that, right? We can't plan when they are going to arrive. And they have to arrive at KLIA, be ushered through to the security, get to the airport, get to the tarmac, ensure we take all these photos and leave. Because the plane eventually at 10 o'clock, 10:15, the plane has to leave. Because the plane is scheduled to leave at 10:15. So he said, okay, let's do this. And then we did more planning. And here, right, some of these are actual screenshots of our strategy and plan. Like say, okay, we're going to do this. How are we going to market this? So we decided that we needed to have a lot of content and visuals. So we were actually on the farm every day at the farm, taking photos of the farm. And there's farmer there. His name is Nisha. Nisha, as well, you may think is an old guy, right? The guy is like about 30 years old. And he's been a farmer who's been 30 years old and is super passionate about the product. So we had to learn about the harvesting. We took videos about it. We took pictures. We learned about this. Then we had to work on the boxes. You see the boxes there? That was our first concept art. That was our first concept art before it eventually became this and this and this.
Nice box.
So, and then we also do, okay, because we're planning for this, we wanted to have a teaser campaign. So we, use again, like I said, how we use our digital marketing, right? We use our digital marketing there to say that, hey, Harum Manis will be able soon and all that. We posted in all our social media assets and all. So that is one part about it, which is the marketing side of it, which how can you market your product, right? And the other one we needed to solve is the distribution, because we needed to bring the product from Perlis to Kuala Lumpur, to KK, and to the retailers, to the supermarkets in retailers. And from Perlis, right, from a customer can be eaten, right? It takes the shelf life is between 5 to 7 days.
Okay.
So meaning, from the time it reaches the supermarket, right, the supermarket must be able to sell within 1-2 days for a customer to beli memang ngam-ngam makan macam tu. So along the way, we needed to expedite everything because we wanted to give the supermarkets more time to sell.
Yeah, correct.
So because ultimately, the supermarkets and our online thing is our sales channels, right? We need to ensure that they are able to sell that and they are our key partners, right? So we needed to solve all of the distribution and logistic things in a short span of time. So what we've done is between Perlis to Kuala Lumpur, right? We needed a solution. How can we, within 36 hours, that we are able to ensure that the products are cleared from Kota Kinabalu Airport, meaning that lepas customs and all that. And then to be able to reach our partners' distribution storage area in Sabah. So we needed to do this all in such a quick time.
Very short.
And the first load, right? The first load from Perlis to Kuala Lumpur that actually went to Sabah, I kind of drove it, myself and our team drove it down from Perlis ourselves. So we were actually at Perlis, packing with the farmers, doing all that, drove it down to Kuala Lumpur, and then ensured that it's sent to Sabah. So this is part of the planning. And yeah, so this is the outcome, yeah. So with regards to Harum Manis itself, how many of you all been to Perlis? Have you been to Perlis, Sai?
Yeah.
Pernah?
Yes.
You've been to the farm and all that. How about the crowd there? Has anyone been to Perlis? No. Oh, Sharifa's hometown? No.
Yeah.
No.
Been to Perlis, but not the farm. Yeah.
I see. In Perlis, usually they'll say that some of the houses, right? You usually will see 1 or 2 Harum Manis mango trees. They just plant there and for there. So Perlis is actually a very nice place. It's it's low population compared to all the cities or states in Malaysia. It's got low population, but the people are very nice. So when we were at the farm, right? So for this to happen, right, for these projects to happen, right? I think we've been to Perlis, I think 5 times already in 1.5 months. Okay. Been to Perlis and spending a lot of time at the farm. So can you see that the first photo there? There's DV there as well there, taking photos of the farm, taking photos of the produce, learning about it, what's good about Harum Manis. Did y'all know or not? Do y'all want to know some fun facts about Harum Manis? Let me share it out, right? Take one.
Am I know?
Can you see this? Can you see this mango?
So big.
This is a big one, yeah. So it's this one. Usually Harum Manis, the sizes, right, is between, the good premium grade is between 400 to 600 grams. This one is a big one, is about 880 grams, this one I've got. So the latest supply that we got from Harom Manis, hey, I saw this such a big fruit. So I just wanted to keep hold of the big fruit in a rasa, the rasa, right? But when you think about it, most of the farmers will tell us that the really nice ones are the smaller size ones. So I don't know whether they're telling that because they got a lot of small size fruits that they want to sell or what, but they say usually a small one tend to taste good. So what we tend to do on our side, we tend to experiment, like, the good reasons to eat mangoes, right?
Yeah, correct.
So most of the time we'll be keeping. So yeah, one of the features of the mangoes, can you see there's got like double chin here?
Okay.
So that is one of the key features of Harum Manis, is the mango will have a double chin at the bottom. And then when this mango is a dark green fruit, right? When it ripes, it doesn't turn yellow, this fruit. What it tends to bronze from the top all the way down. So you'll see like a slightly darker green like that. And then when you know it's best to eat, it's actually when you're supposed, there's a saying, right? They say, the farmer taught me, actually Nisha here actually taught me. He said, you want to know when it's good to eat? He said it's cium, bau, then makan. So what does it mean? Like cium means you go and kiss here, and then you can smell already whether it's good to eat or not. And then if it's good, and then you can go ahead to eat it. So this is one. So
very good information today.
Yeah, you learn the mangoes. Ikan bilis, udang kering, mangoes. Tell us all, guys. We learned. So that's the mangoes. And also mangoes, Harum Manis, right? It actually comes in 2 colors and sometimes 3 as well. So a lot of people think it only has like the dark green, but there's also light green shades. There's also some yellow and all. And the difference is because can you see here in the middle photo, there's like white wrapper and there's a brown wrapper here.
Yes.
Paper can. So the difference is the brown one is they use carbide. So when you use carbide, right, they tends to ripen the fruit faster. Okay. But what it tends to do is the skin color tends to become the lighter green.
Oh, okay.
So whenever they use the white paper and all that, it's like it has its own darker green shade color there. So what happens is we actually learned about all these products, right? And for our first shipment, right, we were actually at the farm itself. You see all these mangoes they collect, and then they go through a process called peram. They'll put it into the green tub here. They'll wash it, clean it, and then only it goes through packing. So then, it's always like bergotong royong lah kapelis pun. And then this work here was actually being done, I think, about at 11 o'clock at night. We were doing the packing until about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Our first cargo here. And so this has some of the photos of how the produce looks with our boxes. Once it's all nicely packaged and all, it goes through our big, larger boxes. And then can you see here on the right, the last photo on the bottom corner?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember our warehouse here? You remember the flooring?
In the lobby.
The same, the lobby area, sama. We again reused it again. So all these mangoes are here now, all packaged, ready to go to Sabah. So that's why we worked on this project here, right? So this was our first example. And then what we did is, from the farm, it was ready to go farm. So what we did is, we flagged it off. Remember I said we had flagged it off at the AirAsia, at the tarmac?
Yeah.
So we had to work with all our marketing teams, our communication teams, to work with the media, work with the minister's team. I think this one, Lal and my bosses and all, so you had to arrange with all the government agency. Pengarah mana nak datang and all that. And then these people sometimes can be also like, they got certain requirements. So if the minister will come with his set of teams. You have to ensure security tags available for all his team members, all his government agencies, the directors, the DG of the agriculture industry, and we have to ensure all of this. So remember the sketch we drew and all? Yeah. So the idea was when we get all of them, we wanted to bring them to the tarmac and ensure that we take a photo with them to flag it off. And then lepas diorang dah buat tu, kita pun sempat on the right there ambil gambar sendiri pula, shot sendiri. Actually, the minister all left already, Then I told all, okay, chill. We may not get this opportunity again. We took our own photos there.
Okay.
At the airport and all. So then after all of this done, can you see? I think you guys may have seen this. We flagged it off. Tony and all of them flagged it off to Sabah. And the products. Did you guys see when the news came out in the newspapers?
Yeah.
Were you familiar that we flagged off mangoes to Sabah? So that was the main there. It was Tony, Dato Dane, and the Ministry of Agriculture. We actually used our teleport, our cargo team, loaded all to the aircraft, sent it. And in Sabah, that was the outcome there. In the supermarkets in Sabah. Can you see how it's sold there? from the paper to the concept to being ended up in Sabah. And all we wanted to do was solve the problem, right? How can we export these things to Sabah? There's a fruits there taken when we cut in Sabah to see the condition of the fruits. Oops, sorry. And the most interesting part about this, right? Kan you know harum manis kat Semenanjung is actually sold about 38 ringgit, 36 to 38 ringgit. What we wanted to do is, because we wanted to market this product for the first time in Sabah, right? We wanted to work on a solution that will ensure the same pricing is available in Sabah as well. So imagine tau, nak bawa semua daripada Perlis to Semenanjung, the cost, logistic cost, delivery cost and all the marketing costs, and still be able to sell that at the same price as Semenanjung as well. So we had to solve problems on many areas as well. So not only around the product, the logistics, the creativity around marketing it as well, but also the pricing. When we worked with our distributors, our retailers, what's the pricing they can give, how we ensure the end customer is the one always benefiting. So that's all many facets of that we go on to solve with the Harum Manis project as well. So far, anyone got questions there?
Okay, you may drop your question, then so we will pick which is the best.
All right. I see. I can continue.
Yeah.
Saya feel letih lah. Cakap. Oh man. So then, okay, I continue, right? So, when we say to support this, right? These are all in the supermarkets and how we understand. So to complement the selling of this produce in the supermarket, we had to do a lot of marketing. We had to do a lot of marketing in our social media as well, to ensure that the market in Sabah is aware that, hey, you can buy Harum Manis now in Sabah. Kind of like how Sai said, the price is a bit expensive, right? So now not only that we are introducing a new product to a new market, we also have to ensure that they are willing to buy, and to ensure that why are they willing to buy? What are the qualities of the product, or what are the values of the things that the customers are willing to pay this premium price for? Yeah. So we have to solve all of these things to ensure that this happens. So the good story about this is, right, remember how I said the public holiday and all that, we launched it and all? Yeah. Some of these fruits were available for sale on a Saturday morning in the supermarket. By Sunday afternoon, I think 80% was sold out already.
Oh, wow.
So we got immense success with all the supermarkets there. But now ada pula challenge baru. You know what's the challenge? Is that first we did all of this, and then we thought, we weren't sure whether the customers were willing to buy or interested in the products or not. But we managed to solve it, right? By making the product interesting, informing the market, educating the market about the qualities of things, keeping the price as competitive as we can. And it worked. But now we got a challenge. In Perlis, setiap hari hujan. So tak cukup buah.
Oh, okay.
So now that we got buyers in Sabah, but we got enough fruits in Sarawak, in Perlis to send it over. Habis, because so you see that's the thing about the agriculture world, right? The pricing changes on a day. It's all about the supply and demand, right? So whenever we start doing on all of these new things, we try to create a demand out there. And then we hope the supply eventually matches up to it. So, so that is part of the journey there. And then, so how did we do this? We kind of complemented this with all our marketing here. So then we can see like this all credit goes to DV and his team. They are the one always trying to see what are the visuals they can use. How can we educate the market? So can you see here, did you know, right? There's a light green and dark green color, right? This photo was actually taken from the same tree. It's the same fruit, but from the same tree, but two different shades of color. And the reason why we needed to do this is that when we're doing in Sabah, right? The customers in Sabah were asking, I thought Harum Manis was dark green. How come we got light green fruits? So we needed to educate the market to ensure that, they also know there's dark green, light green. So that's what, when you work with a new product, right? It's very important to ensure that that information is then supplemented to the customers themselves. You may like the product, you may know all the qualities about the product and all that, but what is important is the customer's understanding. Yes. So what we intend to do is, like with the supermarkets and all that, we needed to ensure the promoters at the supermarket knew the product. So then we also did that. We provided samples. We actually gave a lot of cut fruits where the promoters were able to go around, give samples. So these all contributed towards the success of selling harum manis in Sabah itself. So it's a combination of things. And you see how it started, right? It started by just this problem we had in Perlis. And then the idea, the concept to how we're going to do this, from taking it to a paper and then really on the ground, making it actionable within a short time frame. And I think I saw some of the comments earlier, just running on pure adrenaline on a day-to-day basis, right? You just go, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Let's communicate this out. Yeah. Let me see then. Wait, so did y'all learn? Are y'all learning about the fruits today?
Yes, of course.
Of course. I've got a question though. How many of y'all are going to go to AirAsia fresh and buy some harum manis? Anyone? Did I make a sale? Oh, yes, Jerry. Thank you. I at least convinced Jerry.
Okay, Mr.
I'll ask my mom.
We have short time.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be done already. So correct. This is the part. So the outcome, right? So, you know, doing all of this, what was the outcome? The actual outcome was this. From the initial objective, the outcome was we got to spend a lot of time at the farm, learning about the products, learning at that. We got a lot of media attention as well. Now suddenly we are known and associated with the harum manis. And our products now are available on the B2B platform and our B2C platform today. And as of, I think as of today, we've actually sold 6.5 ton. This was actually 2 days ago. This photo was actually from 2 days ago, but as of yesterday, we've actually sold another 1 ton of harum manis. So as of now, we actually sold about 6.5 ton of harum manis already between here and Sabah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There you go. That's my story about harum manis there and our 2 products. So because you said I got a short time, right?
Yes, yes.
I would like to end.
Because we are concerned about you.
Dari tadi cakap je kan, non-stop.
Can we go for Q&A now?
Oh, sure. But before we go to Q&A, right? I just got short things about some things that Tony has always shared that I would like to quickly share with everyone.
Okay, yes. Okay,
very quickly, I'll do this, yeah? So one of the things that Tony have always shared to us is that find opportunities in all situations, right? You know, like us, right? With airline, right? With COVID scenarios, it's not our planes are not moving, right? But what we've done is we actually moved to the digital business. We're actually doing delivery. Here you can see Tony himself doing the cycling. So Tony is actually the person who does the talk. He comes up with the idea, he does the talking, he does the walking. And in this picture, he does the cycling as well. So here, Tony, right, is always encourages to find opportunities in all situations. So that's where I hope in my narrative, right, there's always a problem that arises that needed to solve. But it's all about bringing that value to the customer or the farmer to see how we can solve this thing. And then remember how I said we did the harum manis on his birthday? So we actually gave him a birthday cake.
Oh, okay.
We actually gave him a birthday cake and a harum manis. And then, and the reason is, and the reason, one of the key reasons we did all of this is that Tony is our brand, is our ambassador, right? He's like a KOL. Like, you know, like how Jerry said earlier, right? He's one of the key KOL, right? When Tony is passionate about product, the entire market will be passionate about a product. So we actually gave him a cake with harum manis and all. That's actually all original cake. Huh? It's not a box. It's actually real cake. And then when the 2 fruits there, there's actually cake as well. He actually thought they were fruits. He took it out. Only for him to realize it was actually in cake. Okay. And then the other learnings that you want to know from AirAsia is, right, it's like actually our people is our asset. Here, our people, what I mean is, you know, like with AirAsia, because we had to let go a lot of staff and all between pilots, crews and all that, right? Because our planes are not flying, right? Here we go, you see one of our ex-pilot here, now is our biz dev manager, became our coach. It's a pilot there. We've got our ground team now doing some sourcing. We got our flight crew now who's our marketing exec. We've also got another ex-flight crew who's also working with the farmers and all that. So all of these people, right, during a crisis, you don't see they actually adapted, changed, reskilled, found values in different situations. Mm-hmm. This is essentially the AirAsia story. You know, when we first started the airline, Tony always say we founded the airline in, I think, 1999, I believe, or something like that. And then there was this Twin Tower case, and then airline industries go down, but they prevailed. So similarly, like it seems like air is in our blood to always come out and triumph out of crisis. So it's just about how we then do. We have to change, adapt. I'll go. And the last one is, oh, really? Adib is SEGi College graduate? That's good to know.
Okay.
That's quite cool. And then this last thing is I want to say is be passionate in everything that you do, right? So like our team and our core team, right, is actually from AirAsia Wi-Fi. We actually, the technology builders and the digital players who actually build AirAsia's in-flight Wi-Fi team. And then we actually transitioned to the in-flight duty-free pula. After many years of doing Wi-Fi, we transitioned to selling duty-free and all, selling perfumes, you know, like how Jerry was selling L'Oreal's and all that, right? Those were our partners. We used to be in Hong Kong, always talking to L'Oreal, looking with new partners, how can we sell new products and brand, but that was actually just a product. Now our products are all farmers, fresh produce and all that. So can you see, we've like literally in the air all the time, and now we are literally on the ground with the farmers there themselves. So yeah, so that's how we transitioned ourselves as a team. But regardless of which industry and what we did, we never lost that passion. We've always had that passion in what we did, and we continuously learned. So if I could let the team or let everyone leave with some parting message is to ensure, like say, that find opportunities, that be passionate. So those are actually really good qualities, or just like natural qualities of the traditional entrepreneurs themselves. And lastly, let's go. Because I showed you all these cool visuals, right? And because DV is here and he will scold me if I don't promote our AirAsia social handles, do check out AirAsia Farm. You can check out us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and all that. And that's it.
Okay, do check out. Okay, everyone. Now we go for Q&A.
Okay. Sai.
Yeah.
You know why the actual reason I spoke so long or not, extended a bit? Because I wanted to keep the Q&A shorter a bit, just in case I didn't know the answers.
Okay, you're very brilliant. No, we just choose three. We choose three from these 10 questions. Okay. One of the question from Sarah Albayati, going from duty free to the farming field. Yeah. What are some of the preparation you had to personally do? Okay. Example, your mental mindset, your knowledge, and your skills. Can you explain?
I see. Going from duty. Okay, so like our team, right, is essentially we've always been an e-commerce and a digital team. So what we look at that is whenever we look at products, right, we look at products. Doesn't matter where the products or what industry does the product comes from. So like you say, like the duty-free team, right? That one is just more sexy lah. It's more glamour. You wear suits in all your meetings. You know, you meet all these retailers and all that, right? So that's more, it's got a glamour to it. And then when you go to the farm, it's just more simple, and the conversations are more simple. The people are more simpler. The requirements are very different. For example, right, for us, the mindset is always been about, hey, how can you then relate to either your buyers or your farmers? So for example, if in the duty-free business, their values or what they're looking for is very different one. It's about how can you brand the product very well? How can you do marketing? How can you get the right price? How can you really give out the best value that? What's the payment terms? Those kind of things that you discuss, right? To ensure all the SOPs are all done, all the SOPs are. With the farmers and all that, it's more simpler. Hey, you're AirAsia kind of thing, you know, you're excited, I want to work with you and all that. So there's not much planning that's happened. Like we learn as we go. But one thing is all about resonating with who your buyer or your clients are or your farmer themselves are, right? And like the farmer themselves, right, they got very simple things. One is like my produce. I will try to ensure that I'll be able to give you the produce and this quality, and whether you'll be able to pay me right on time or not. Because farmers macam tu punya. You get payments, you have to pay them very immediately, right? Because they need the cash. Right. But in a scenario where you deal with all the big players, you got like 6 months payment terms and all that. So even ourselves, right, the way we operationalize, how we do things, our own internal processes, everything has to change to ensure that we get to solve what is the use case out there. Is to ensure that the farmers are out there, that we are bringing value to the farmers and also our new customer base.
Okay.
But for us, like tak ada lah, tak banyak lah, Sarah. It's just like we like products, we are energetic, let's go.
Okay, that's good. Okay, second question. What are the criteria or qualifications needed to open my own airline food supply? Okay, she's interested. And how can I guarantee the hygiene and the taste?
Okay, so but I think the question's two parts to it lah. When regards to it, you see like hygiene and all that, right? Some of the hygiene requirements is always like all our staffs are all injected with like we got all typhoid injections. So typhoid is absolutely mandatory for all our team members and all. That's one absolutely critical. And this is the part where I say that you want to ensure the fruits has high quality or the produce is good quality, right? It's also about how having the relationship with the farmer themselves, being at the farm, looking at the produce, how are they managed and all that, right? And it's always an ongoing relationship. It just doesn't start happen in one day one. The more you build the relationship with the farmers, the more you will learn about the produce. And then the more you learn about this, then you can possibly contribute to solutions in terms of improving the hygiene or the quality in that. So it all comes down to that. And then the next question is, what are the advice you need to do to get started? An airline to get started is how did it? It's actually just all we did was we saw an opportunity there. And that opportunity came from a problem that we wanted to solve. You say, how can we help farmers solve all things during COVID by connecting them directly to the businesses themselves? So we saw this as an opportunity then. And then what we did is we looked at our strengths. So what is actually our AirAsia strengths? It's our network, our marketing, our branding and all that. So we thought, hey, there are certain potentials of AirAsia here that we can utilize to change the air industry itself. So we got started and all. Now what we are also doing is we are looking at all new digital solutions in terms of how an example would be, right? Like whenever a produce is at a farm itself, all of this will be videos will be taken, photos will be taken, all of this uploaded into our system and our database. And our buyer in all our international places, you just have to access our system and then see, hey, let's say you've got mangoes coming from Perlis in about 2 months' time. You know, all the harvest, the time period, what the photos, the videos, what you have to learn about it. And this, imagine, again, going back to mangoes, is because it's our current subject now, but you can see, imagine some customers in Japan, right in advance, getting excited about the mangoes, or even udang kering, ikan bilis, or whatever produce from the farmers here, right? In advance, we educate them why they're good and all that. And then to utilize AirAsia's land and air freight, right? To provide this. Because AirAsia as well, we got a network of operations in China, Korea, Japan, and all these places, right? We see this as an excellent opportunity there. Is that like now at this stage, I'm like, in a way, answering Muntase's question there, right? About our plan for our group and all that, but around AirAsia, right? So one of the key strategy of us is that we want to ensure all our planes are always being utilized. So it's either whether it's via the customers or if not via cargo. So if it's cargo means whenever we are flying, let's say from Kuala Lumpur to let's say Japan, right? We want the passengers to be the planes to be fully occupied with passengers. We want our cargo belly as well to be completely occupied as well. So that's the idea there, right? Is to always ensure full sets of occupation flights or product.
Okay. Last question. Okay.
All right.
Let's say this pandemic will end in any time. Do AirAsia will continue to support the farmers?
Of course, that's not because like I said, right? Our strategy here is that we, in the planes, right, got a cargo belly, cargo, kan? How to occupy the cargo belly? It's whenever AirAsia farms move product from, let's say, Kuala Lumpur to Sabah, we will use AirAsia's cargo. Whenever we move AirAsia from, let's say, from Sabah to Japan or Sabah to China, right, when the pandemic is over, right, we will use our cargo belly. So AirAsia itself values this, and we look at this as a potential. But not only that, right? We are not, look at this, right? It's actually very intelligent on many levels. It's because we're actually leveraging all our strengths. We are leveraging our AirAsia brand around Asia. We've already got operations in Japan, Korea, China, Thailand, Indonesia, and all, which actually AirAsia Farm will be expanding later this year to Thailand and Indonesia. We're looking at it. So it's about connecting all these different places. You know, like how we connected Perlis to Sabah with our mangoes, and then we connected Sabah to Kuala Lumpur or Sabah to Penang with our ikan bilis and udang kering. So similarly, we'll be doing this to all the other regions. So why would we stop? Right? Now that we got started, and why would we stop? We now essentially of doing between Semenanjung, our plan and our scale will be bigger.
Okay. It become a big business.
Bigger, and I think the way we're looking at that is like how we started, like Encik Jamal started with 1 kilo, 10 kilo transition. We started small as well, like how we brought in 120 kilos from there. We sold about 2.5 months. Then we too want to do big things. So, remember how I told the story about our pilot, right? Who actually is our biz dev manager now. So he's got a vision himself. During one of the conversations with him, I was telling him that, someday I hope at AirAsia Farm we can own our own cargo plane, and he wants to be the person flying the cargo plane. So imagine we started off small and then to eventually owning an own plane, and that it's not a commercial plane, It's for us to own our own plane. We got our own pilots and our own team that started out is piloting the plane. And then we get to go to all these cool destinations and to sell our products.
Yeah, very good.
How cool is that?
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Murain, thank you so much.
No problem.
Sharing experience. Okay. I think all the young generation.
Yeah, I hope I have at least got to inspire them a bit and tell you about all the stories.
Okay. I will see you soon.
Thank you.